Okay, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're really finding yourself really well today and you're safe with your family. My name is Maria Hopwood-Jones and I'm an ASEA Platinum Executive. Today's webinar will be divided into three sections. The first section will be the ASEA Breakthrough and the Opportunity with our wonderful Stevie Aquilina. And the second section will be a story of possibility and success with Dan Doyle. And of course, the third section will be the Q&A. Before we start, I'd like to introduce our wonderful first speaker, Stevie Aquilina. Now, Stevie Aquilina is a fantastic human being. He became very independent at a tender age of 15. He would run away from home and never went back. And he knows what it's like to be without the struggles that come with the lack of resources. And a number of years later, he and his wife, Sarah, now have 4 boys that they homeschool in Queensland, sunny Queensland, Australia. 4 years ago, they made the best decision ever. They started their ASEA business. Now, Stevie is an ASEA Platinum Associate, and his motto and his belief is it's the best income ever and the most rewarding income. Stevie and his lovely wife are now high-profile leaders in ASEA, very passionate about enhancing people's life and 100% committed to the ASEA mission to better people's life and to be a force for good in the world. I'd like to welcome our fabulous Stevie Aquilina. Over to you.
Hey, Maria, thank you so much. That might be the best invite I ever got. Best intro I ever got in my life. Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here. And I love working shoulder to shoulder with you because I know that every bit of your heart is for this mission of ASEA. And so, it's been high priority for me to work with you because you put people and principles in high priority over everything else. And that's exactly who I like to gang up with. So thank you very much for being you and allowing me some time on this call here. And so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here and tuning in and listening to me. And as Maria pointed out, almost from the moment this information was first handed to me just about 5.5 years ago now, it's also been a high priority for me to bring it to everybody's attention because the level of importance of this information is extremely high to you and to everyone in your life who is important to you, because the level of impact and difference that this is making in people's lives is incredibly deep. And so I am filled with a very sincere sense of responsibility to bring this forward to everyone so they can have access to it too. Not just for themselves, but for many other people as well. This is a breakthrough for humanity. What I will be sharing with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. The discoveries of DNA or the discovery of penicillin, these were huge medical discoveries, but medical science experts are saying that this breakthrough that we're going to share with you this evening goes much deeper than that, much deeper than anything we've ever seen before. This will be unlike anything you've ever seen or heard of before, because we're going to go over an exciting and entirely new frontier in science that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. A breakthrough with enormous potential, validated and proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory studies. A very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or any health challenges that you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted to shut it down. More about that a little later. But before I tell you what this is, let's get very clear about what this is not. This is not a drug. It is not a vitamin, not a mineral, and not an antioxidant formula. It is not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser lights, roots of magical 5,000-year-old trees, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of the other stuff that you've probably heard about many times before. Instead, what we'll be talking about is an entirely new frontier in science, a truly groundbreaking category creating healthcare breakthrough for humanity. ASEA redox cell signaling technology contains active redox molecules. What are those? They are the exact same cellular messages made natively within your body that affect cell signaling, cell-to-cell communication, all the way down to your gene expressions in a positive way, helping your cells to be able to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, detect and replace damaged cells, activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection, and keep your cells functioning at optimal levels, the way that it should, performing the way that they should, healing and protecting themselves the way they should. Why is this important? You are made 100% entirely inside and out, head to toe, of nothing but cells. You live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy life. And so your redox biochemistry is foundational to all cellular health and healing, and therefore all of your body's health and healing. It is an essential function of normal physiology. In fact, a wide range of your biochemical and physiological processes critically depend on redox signaling in and among your cells. So in other words, if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making these redox signaling molecules right now, you would age within seconds. You wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds after that. Without your redox signaling molecules, your life ends. Now, when we're born, we produce an abundance of redox signaling molecules. However, with age, stress, diet, toxins, and other environmental assaults, our cells break down. They break down, and our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. As such, our cells break down even more, and with it, so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality, and ability to self-regulate and heal. Now, ASEA takes science so seriously that they do not do any scientific studies themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research and with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, that improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulates hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. These genes are the key 5 most important genes in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens upon dozens of additional genetic pathways. Now, also, ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Additional studies prove that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Head professors of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they call disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Significant, because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress, and 95% of all adult conditions are degenerative. And again, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? because redox signaling molecules are native. They're not natural. They're native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just your body can't make as much of them anymore like it did when it was younger. So any health goal, if you have health challenges, if you have loved ones that you want to care for that have health challenges, if you wish to look, live, and feel young again, if you have the sense for health protection, because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better performance in your sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. On that note, let's hear from some medical doctors right now what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. We talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries. But now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies. And this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
All right, so now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, I'd like to show you what's possible from the outside in. And that is made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28, Revitalizing Redox Gel, and Renew Advance Intensive Redox Serum, supported and enhanced by their complementary and all natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture speaks 1,000 words, so let some of these pictures do the talking with you now. This is more than anti-aging results. You'll see age reversing results, lines and wrinkles being ironed out. In other words, disappearing, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being repaired and rejuvenated, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions being brought back to the proper levels, surfaces of the skin. This is Rosie, and believe it or not, quite astonishing results on the first two photos on the left-hand side. But believe it or not, again, Rosie didn't believe that the products were working. And so one moral of this story is take pictures. Rosie didn't take pictures, and that's why she missed it. It was her doctor who took these pictures, luckily. The other moral of the story is look at the time frame of those first two photos, 7 weeks. And she was just using the minimum amount of this product, 7 weeks. So the second moral of the story is that a lot of people notice results quite quickly. But then again, a lot of people don't. What we do know is that redox molecules are redox molecules. They're the same in me as they are in you, as they are in my cat who sits next to me, as they are in the plants and trees outside. Everything that is alive is made up of cells. And if it's made up of more than a couple of cells, then it has redox signaling molecules. And so according to that science and the science on ASEA's products, that it would be scientifically impossible for redox signaling molecules to not work in you. They work in every single person, every single time. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, this is a doctor. He decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you tell what side he did versus what side he did not use the Renew 28 on? Well, I'll give you some clues. Spot the difference if you can. Have a look at the lines running down each corner of the mouth. Have a look at the lines running down either side of the nose. What about maybe the bagginess or the wrinkles on one side of the face, on the cheek as opposed to the other? Here's the biggest spot the difference of all. Have a look at how those glasses are slanting to one side of the face, maybe suggesting that there's some more droopiness on that side and a lift on the other. And so if you said he used it on the left rather than the right or his right, absolutely correct. And I also thank, every time I get to speak to this gentleman, I thank him for walking around for like 28 days. He walked around like a weirdo just so he could prove to us all how good Renew 28 is where you use it versus where you don't. And it's not just for your face. Here you'll see inside of a lady's arm, and you'll see hands, and you'll see bellies. And we're also going to show you bums. This was a picture from a scientific clinical trial that was done because there were reports coming in all over the world of people who were using this Renew 28 stuff, and their cellulite was disappearing. And so this leading laboratory did a study to find out what was going on, and they found that after 12 weeks, in fact, the appearance of cellulite was reducing. And so they did ultrasounds to find out what was going on, and they found that the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved. It is a historical truth that with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. The greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. And what you have been invited to have a look at is the greatest health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. ASEA is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in '98 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see that there are well over 30,000 results. This is a difficult slide for me to keep up with. It's already out of date because there are more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling molecules, and they have their own medical health journal. Redox signaling, according to medical experts, is one of the fastest, if not perhaps becoming the fastest emerging field in science that, again, according to medical researchers, will shape all of our lives in the coming years. So picture this. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up Redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and World Redox Congresses being held about Redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a medical doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. So the race is on with the medical and pharmaceutical industries to understand the complex paths and functions of these redox signaling biochemistry in our body, to earn recognition for discoveries and to create drugs for specific health conditions as they do. However, they face a very long and slow process, while ASEA is already light years ahead. And that is for two simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that that was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. So that means that we have no copycats. We have no competition. ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. No one in the world has what ASEA has. No one in the world can do what ASEA can do. No one. And so that creates massive opportunity. ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors, whether it be healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries, and redox works on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well, or more to the point, at all, without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody needs redox, and ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from, and it is having a significant and deep impact in changing, bettering people's lives and giving them back their lives too. ASEA really is an entrepreneur's dream. So our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people. We can't do that on our own, and so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money, to earn commissions, just by sharing redox with others. You receive a residual income, not only from the first purchase, but also from every single ongoing purchase made by everyone you refer to ASEA. However, you also receive more income, ongoing income, residual income from the ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer. And you do this already. When you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, or whatever, people naturally tell other people, who naturally tell other people, who then tell even more people. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest, most ancient, and still the biggest and most powerful forms of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide easily. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening up new markets almost every single year. And based on the existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. And so for people who are looking for an extra or part-time or full-time, or I just want more time, or a big time, maybe legacy leaving income for loved ones. For business-minded people, this is a very significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income from the growth of this global expansion. But really, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's exactly what you get to do and be a part of with ASEA. You get to join forces with others who are also being a tremendous force for good in the world. Who you become and what you do really is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make you. However, not only can you make great money, you can be rewarded on top of all of that with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world and have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, and a great lifestyle. So why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And maybe you are, because there are now hundreds of doctors all over the world now recommending Redox to their patients and seeing unprecedented results. But big pharmaceutical companies, after seeing tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, did offer to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights and ownership of the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down and take everyone off Redox. Thankfully, founders of ASEA, Virtus and Tyler Norton, said no to the payout and yes to the people. Because after Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless to now experiencing life-changing power from Redox signaling molecules, Virtus and Tyler were filled with a great sense of purpose, great sense of responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so what had started for them as a big business play had now become an important and purposeful mission. The ASEA founders, Virtus and Tyler, turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route for you, in order to expedite the availability and technology globally, making it available immediately to you and everyone without a prescription. And so as demonstrated in this first and very important decision, ASEA always puts people and principles before ego and economics. The founders of ASEA and their corporate teams come from Fortune 500 company backgrounds and even greater than that. And so they are exceptionally experienced in running big and profitable businesses, but they pride themselves on never doing it at the cost of people. So you are in good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Don't worry about what the time is in your part of the world. They will probably be glad to hear from you, and let them know what you've seen here. Let them know what you like best about it. If you have any questions, ask them. We, at the end of this presentation, and they can point you to where you can find the answers. There's plenty of university studies, and most important of all, hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing experiences for you to see. ASEA is the real deal. We truly want to help you, so at least I hope you'll become part of this Redox reality and live better, healthier, younger, stronger, longer. But one of ASEA's guiding principles is to become more, because really what you become determines what you can overcome, that ultimately determines your income in life. So if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you'll also pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others, and your life as a byproduct will become better. If you decide to become part of this being a force for good in the world with ASEA, your life as a byproduct will be filled with more good. And so I want to thank you very much for allowing me a little bit of your time here. May you always be happy. May you always be well. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Thank you very much, Maria. I appreciate you and everybody here. I'll hand it back to you.
Oh, thanks, Stevie. That was just so amazing. Every time I watch your presentation, I learned something new, and I've watched it many times. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending the time on your Saturday morning in sunny Queensland. Yeah, terrific. I hope you guys enjoy that. To add to this amazing presentation, I'd like to invite Dan Doyle, who's another amazing human being. Dan was very successful in Australia. He sold and built a lot of businesses. He was financially very secure. However, life doesn't always play its cards the way you want it. And in 2013, all changed. And he and his wife became destitute, financially destitute. Now, moving a few years ago, forward, 7 years forward, Dan has achieved the rank of #3 in ASEA as a Triple Diamond Ambassador. He's an authority in the Redox technology and cellular health, and has a wealth of experience in building businesses, and is a fantastic speaker and well-sought entrepreneur. His mission in life is to get this particular life-changing breakthrough to the world. He has experienced it himself. Dan, we would like to welcome you. We appreciate the time you've taken to actually tell your story and your vision for humanity and the vision for ASEA. Dan, welcome.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks for the introduction. And thank you, Stevie, for the phenomenal presentation. Very clear and precise. I don't think there's too much that anybody would have missed. We do have a huge breakthrough in Redox and what they can do for not just human bodies, but any body, animals and plants. What I like to reiterate on each call, especially with our guests on board, you can unfold your arms, you can relax, because we are not here to sell you anything or convince you of anything. We are simply here to share information with you, and whatever that you do with that information is totally, totally up to you. So we're the messengers. Please don't shoot us. I can tell you from my journey, and I'm going to go through my story, if I did depend on my doctors and I didn't take the responsibility of my health into my own hands, I probably know where I'll be today, and that's not on this call. I had a life-changing experience, which I'll go through. And due to these amazing little molecules, due to ASEA, Bart and Melissa Cotter, who introduced this technology to me, who I just want to shout out, rank advanced to Ambassador Diamond, by the way. Incredible journey with these guys and with you guys on this call. It's had a massive impact on our lives. You know, we did come from losing everything financially when I lost my health, and just amazing that not only several years ago, looking down the barrel of not going in a direction that I wanted to go in, but also, financially destitute, as Maria said. So just want to reiterate what Stevie said in regards to the company disclaimer before I go into my story, that these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But I can tell you that we have an amazing technology, these products that can signal the body to heal itself, these redox signaling molecules that Stevie went through with you. So I did grow up in Sydney in Australia, and now based here in Honolulu in Hawaii. Had a pretty good childhood growing up. Unfortunately didn't like school, and my parents were advocates of education from where they came from, and working multiple jobs to support us children, me and my two sisters. And a big distraction from school for me was playing sports. So I got into a lot of sports and avoided a lot of homework. And I played rugby league, and I did judo, gymnastics, surfing, aerobics, and did this thing called bodybuilding. And this is the start of me being a young entrepreneur. So from the age of 21, I got into my own business. And those businesses were in the health and fitness industry. So as part of the health and fitness industry, I needed to become a product of the product. So everything sort of linked in and was hand in hand as far as becoming a bodybuilder. I had a bodybuilding shop and gym. I was a bouncer at the time, did multiple businesses and had multiple jobs on top. And that was my life. I ate, slept and breathed the fitness industry, bodybuilding and business. So fast forward 20 years and 20 businesses later, because from being a young entrepreneur, I didn't know I was going to start building and selling traditional businesses, but I did that. I was very good at it and became very successful. Employed 3,500 people over 20 years in multiple different industries, security companies, in the car wash industry, pub, all these different businesses, excavation, construction. And 2010 came along. I just want to show you a picture 20 years later, from the age 24 to 44, that I used to still keep fit and healthy, but I wasn't doing bodybuilding anymore. I wasn't lifting heavy weights, and I just used to do cardiovascular work. So here in this photo, I had several businesses still. Life was great. I wanted to be the best version of a 50-year-old that I could be with looking after my health. And what happened 6 months later, my whole life was literally dumped upside down onto its head, because I found a little lump underneath my left rib, and unfortunately, the doctors told me very bad news. I had 2 major health challenges, and this is a photo of me in May 2011. So that's 6 months after the last photo, going through with something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I was in and out of a hospital in Sydney, Australia for 2.5 years, where I'd lost all my hair from the top of my head to my toes. And I had a fake smile on my face there. I was with a hero of mine who played the highest level of rugby, played for the football team that I go for. He'd already been through a lot of these hospital visits that I was experiencing in this photo. He'd been through a health challenge. He came through it. He was in remission in this photo. He had what they would consider a good one, and I had 2 of the bad ones. But unfortunately, after this photo, his came back. He was 21 in this photo, and he went into hospital and never came out. At the age of 23 years old, we unfortunately lost him from what he was experiencing. And at the end of my 2.5 years of what I was going through and what they did to me in that hospital, I asked the big question. I asked my doctors what was going to happen to me, and they literally looked me in the eyes and they told me to get my affairs in order. I was in a bit of shock. I chose a few choice words to call them at the time. I believed in traditional medicine, and traditional medicine, don't get me wrong, has got a huge place in society. But after 2.5 years of what they did to me, thinking that I was going to be okay, that was not going to be the case. So I made a decision at this point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet. And I knew that what I had couldn't live in an alkaline state. So I tidied up all my diet. Us Aussies like our barbies, our beer and our red meat. That was all gone. And I literally moved my diet to vegetables, salads, deep water fish, and just alkaline water. But on top of that, I took a lot of products from network marketing companies from around the world: super juices, antioxidants, nutritional supplements, alkaline water. Took all of these things religiously for 2 years, and on that pristine, that clean, that alkaline diet. And you would think I would have had results doing everything right by my body. And this is the result after 2 years. And I'm going to ask you the question, and you can answer the question to yourself. How do I look? I can tell you that my blood works were still heading in the wrong direction. And what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was happening on the inside. So my skin is still a reflection of what was going on the inside. My cells weren't well. They weren't working well. Nothing was working well, as a matter of fact. A friend of mine, Bart Cotter, reached out to me in October 2014 when this photo was taken. And all he said to me was, "I think I found something that can help." So long story short, I flew to Salt Lake City. I met him in the headquarters of the company called Lycia, and we were listening to Dr. Gary Samuelson going through this breakthrough. Now, while I was there, they were giving us the product to try. I went through about half a bottle, 16 ounces, while sitting there throughout the presentation. Went back to the hotel, and we were going to get ready, freshen up, have a shower, get dressed to meet Dr. Gary Samuelson, who is the genius who stabilized these molecules outside of the body. The founders, Verdis Norton and Tyler Norton, the executives of the company, and we're going to have dinner. I took off my shirt to have a shower, and I'm covered in little red spots all over my upper torso, not realizing at the time that what wasn't supposed to be in my body was expelling so quick it was coming out of my skin. I was going through a detox. Now, we say there's nothing that detoxes like Redox. Now, the thing is, it's not the Redox that's doing it. It's actually the Redox telling the body to actually do it and activate and turn things on. So that was what I would consider to be my first win. Now, I had a caffeine intolerance for 20 years. The next morning I got up and I drank another half a bottle. We went to breakfast, and any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over with discomfort and bloating all day. And the next morning I decided to test this stuff that we were drinking. This is here, Redox Cell Signaling Supplement. And I had 6 coffees. Now, don't forget, any more than 2 coffees, I'm in a lot of trouble. I went through that whole day and there was nothing to remind me of what I endured for 20 years. That issue had disappeared overnight. The next day is when the light bulb went on. I had so much lung damage from what they did to me in that hospital. I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. Within 48 to 72 hours, my lungs were functioning perfect. That is when the light bulb went on, as what I said. Now, I went back to Australia. Do you think I kept drinking this stuff? Of course. Now, the issue was that we had lost everything financially when I lost my health. We were living in a van. couldn't really afford to scratch ourselves, struggling to put food on the table, almost went to the Salvation Army for food stamps. But anyway, we managed to buy 1 bottle per week. Now, keeping in mind that 1 bottle per week is for somebody that was 100% healthy. So here I am, anxious and stressed about being on that amount, knowing that I needed to take a lot more product. So I persisted with that, and over 8 months, even on the maintenance amount, my blood works were improving every 3 months when I went back for a checkup. So that was great news. Now, halfway through 2015, 8 months after I started, because I started sharing ASEA with a few family and friends, the company started sending me thank you checks. I invested those thank you checks back into my health, and by December 2015, got some very, very good news, and that's when the doctors told me there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges, and this is a picture on that day. So not only I was looking better and feeling better, those 2 health challenges that disappeared in that time, multiple injuries from playing sports, 80% use of my right shoulder, whiplash injury that I had for 30 years, 80% use of my left hand, hip problems, back problems, pelvic problems. I mean, here I am in my 40s and sounding like I'm in my 80s, but that wasn't the case. My body was so broken down from playing these sports, but they had all gone away by the end of 2015 by this photo. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose, a growth on my left wrist. All these things had gone away in literally just over 12 months. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom. Now that's my journey back to health. Now let's have a look at 2 years later and have a look at the anti-aging side of what these molecules do for our body. So if I go back, you can see that, as I said here, this is a reflection of what was happening on the inside. And what was happening here, this was still a reflection of what was happening on the inside. And 2 years later, 3 years on the product, this is a reflection of what was happening on the inside. So I'm going to stop sharing with you guys and just come back to Celebrity Squares. And hopefully I'll look younger these days. And thank you all for attending this call this morning, this evening, wherever you are. So I didn't expect to have full health from where I was going back 5.5 years ago. I didn't expect to be involved in a network marketing company due to the fact that I came from traditional business, and I thought I was naive to the fact. I thought that everybody involved in this industry were absolutely crazy. I didn't believe in the business model, and I fell into network marketing due to the fact that I lost my health, and as a byproduct of regaining my health, I started sharing this product with people, and it ended up turning into a business. But it became a responsibility, this purpose-filled mission to help a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there, the doctors can't do anything for them. There's a lot of people out there, they're struggling with all the discomfort. And we have got something that can make a huge impact on people's lives. A vehicle that can take people potentially back to their health from wherever they are. A vehicle that can take people to anywhere they want to go financially as well. I can ramble on all day, but I've gone a little bit long already. So I'm going to hand back to Maria just to close out, and then we'll do a Q&A for anybody that's got any questions. So thank you, Maria. Thanks for hosting and having us on.
You're very welcome, Daniel. I just want to point something really extremely powerful here, and I hope you guys can actually see with what I'm about to say. If Dan had not taken the responsibility of his own health into his own hand, you and I would not be here experiencing the benefits of the ASEA products today. So on behalf of everybody on the call, I want to thank you, Dan, from the bottom of my heart, because I know you've made a huge impact in our lives, for your passion for life and for aligning yourself with ASEA and making the decision to be a force for good in the world. You're such an inspiration to all. You're an amazing leader, a mentor to many. We truly appreciate your time. Thanks for all that. And Stevie, what an amazing job you've done. You're such an awesome leader. I'm in awe of you and Sarah. And for those that are here today, that have taken the time to listen out of your Saturday or Friday night, thank you so much. We'll now stop the recording.